What is up? What is up, YouTube? Merry Christmas to everybody. It is early in the morning, and I am still sitting down here recording videos. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Diddy, Buzbee, Jaguar Wright. Lord have mercy, man. This circle is going more and more. Sean, my main man Sean, we are at Sean's Wood channel. And I have a nerve to tell people to go subscribe to his channel. And cause he has, I don't see the number, close to 1 million. Let's help him get to 1 million. How about that? Cause this is my man, Pots and Pans. Hey, seriously though, man. Latest shocking news. He spoke with Gene, and we all know that Gene is one of the bodyguards of P. Diddy. So I love to hear what he have to say because he was there. He was right there, you know. So this is very interesting, man. I've seen a little bit of it, but without any further ado, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check it out. Here we go, y'all.
Good evening, everybody, and huge congratulations to Ron and Dan on baby Nova. But I'm going to leave it.
Congratulations, they had the baby.
So
a Christmas baby, maybe.
Several Diddy, Jay-Z stories to go over. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We had an absolute blast last night. It was like 15 different guests came in for the Christmas special. It was amazing. And
I was there.
I also, as well as these headlines, I
the
sent
Music
Gene
Recording
Deal
Network
a
was
super
there.
chat and asked him a question about Jonathan Oddie. And he gave me a very interesting answer, which I'm going to play for you guys as well. But I will go over the headlines. The latest one that's just come out is ex-Diddy employee suing the rapper over claims of unsavory jobs, tasks, coordinating Wild King Night parties.
What?
We got that one. We have got Sean Diddy Combs suffers fresh blow as Jay-Z takes key step amid lawsuits. We've got 50 Cent reveals how Jay-Z tried to leave him out of the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. We've got Jay-Z suing his accuser's lawyer for defamation now. It's been added on. It's come out today. We've got Beyonce's NFL halftime show only available for streaming for limited time on Netflix, and Beyonce to kick off world tour in March. Good luck with that. If the dam burst by then, as many of us think it may have, she's kicking off a world tour by March, amid husband's legal turmoil. And we've got Jay-Z's jaw-dropping Diddy plan revealed as he battles R-word allegation.
Hey guys, thank you for watching our videos. If you want to check out our live channel, the Music Recording Network Live, where we dive deeper into videos that we put up and talk about different things that's going on in the world. You can participate in our chat, or you can come on live. You don't even have to show your face. Go to our live channel, subscribe, voice your opinion, because we would like to hear from you and help us come up with solutions. Now, let's continue on with this video.
All right, let's just see how everyone's doing in the chat first. Oh, yeah, happy holidays, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Happy holidays.
It's not for me to announce the news of Ron's baby. It's up to him. But I'm just going to say congratulations to him. Nice to see Shane in the chat. And I think I've given away all my free audio books that they allowed me to give away. There might be a few left. But I can't give any more specific ones away. Like tonight, we might do another giveaway of 10. But you're just going to have to get what's left from the rest because we've given loads away in the last couple of days. All right. So I'll play the Gene Deal clip in a minute. Let's look at the latest news story. And it is ex-Diddy employee sues rapper over claims of unsavory job tasks coordinating Wild King Night beep parties. So, this is Philip Pines. He's saying in legal documents reviewed by TMZ that Diddy also presided over beep parties known as Wild King Nights. Pines told the court that a number of his job tasks from 2019 to 2021 involved the logistics behind these parties, gathering supplies of substances, alcohol, and beep toys.
Beep.
Of course, attorneys for Diddy are denying the allegations against him, both in lawsuits filed by Pines and others. Quote, no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never SA'd or transported anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. This is the latest from his legal team. We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail in court. Right, so back to Pines. Quote, Diddy treated Pines like an animal playing fetch in order to prove his loyalty. This is what from the court documents now. Pines said that he had to set up the hotel room Diddy used for the debaucherous Wild King Night involving carnal behavior and substances, and was responsible for cleaning up the aftermath. Oh dear. Among the items Pines told the court he routinely stocked at Diddy's command included red lights, ice buckets, alcohol, the green, honey packs for male libido, honey packs, baby oil, of course, Astro Glide lubricant, towels, illegal substances, and power banger beep machines. What?
Beep.
Pine said in court documents that the cleanup that followed the gatherings, which go on for several days with several women present, involved potentially biohazardous substances such as bodily fluids, substance paraphernalia, and used rubbers toys. He told the court he always had to tip hotel staff extra to suppress any potential leaks of the incidents. He said that Diddy continued to force him to work near him after he tested positive for coronavirus in November 2020 before the release of related vaccines. He said that Diddy told him to remain silent after a celebrity who attended Diddy's 2020 birthday bash in Turks and Caicos the month after asked if anyone at the event had COVID-19. So Diddy in recent days is facing multiple newly filed lawsuits, including SA and the Jane Doe situation. We've gone over that quite heavily with Jay-Z and Jay-Z's lawyer saying Celebrity Beat is J-Lo dropping a name. And then there was the suit filed by Oklahoma woman LaTroya Grayson, who claimed she was drugged at a white party in 2006 and R-worded, though she does not remember the alleged assault and thus could not positively identify the purported culprits. Diddy's lawyers are dismissing her claims as pure fiction, And in a lawsuit, she does not say that she met or interacted with Diddy at the white party where she claims this happened. And Diddy's lawyers have said he's never essayed anyone. Her allegations against him are pure fiction. As we've said before, he cannot respond to every baseless lawsuit and lawyer-driven money grab. He has faith in the judicial process in which fact will be separated from opportunistic fabrications like these. Grayson is suing for 15 mil, claiming that for a week after the 2006 party, she felt constant pain in the inside and outside of her female part, which she believed was from rough carnal beep. This is in the legal complaint. She's filed suit against not only Diddy, but also the label he founded, Bad Boy Records, as well as other companies. And she says her half-sibling won a radio contest at the local station, KJAMZ, and was awarded a round-trip airfare to New York with a guest plus a hotel room and 2 tickets to the white party. In her suit, she includes pictures of the Delta ticket, which took her and a half-sibling to New York in 2006. All right, so let's get good old Gene Deal up here, shall we? He's got almost 200,000 subscribers now on his YouTube channel. And he's got a really good insight. So, as you can see on the screen,
here we go.
I dropped in a super chat. Hi, Gene. What did you make of the Jonathan Odie police interview? Cheers from the UK. And let's listen to his answer.
Okay, here we go.
Sean, I thought that they could have spearheaded that whole thing with Diddy them long time ago based on that Jonathan Odie conversation that he had with the authorities. But because Diddy was protected by the same folks that had gotten at him now and put all this information out about him, is that they wasn't allowed to do their job.
So, if you've not seen the Jonathan Odie police interrogation, it's absolutely fascinating. I think a lot of you have. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the Jonathan Odie police interrogation. Put a 2 in the chat if you've not. And basically, he's gone and shot up a Trump hotel, got in a shootout with the cops, got shot in the leg. He's incarcerated presently. He's facing big time. He's had some court cases. And it looks like half. I've seen it, half not. If you're going down these Diddy rabbit holes, it's one of the biggest ones because Jonathan Odie, he's getting interrogated about shooting up this hotel. And he just drops in that he was a beep slave for Diddy and starts talking about Diddy's connections to the Black Illuminati, the Boule, the intelligence links, the transportation of illegal substances, the network with intelligence, which I've written extensively on in my book, Clinton, Bush, and CIA Conspiracies.
Liquid
And the cop
CC
is saying, look, he's trying to get him back to what he's done in the Trump hotel. I mean, he's listening in a bit on what he's saying about Diddy, but the cop's trying to steer him back to what he did in the hotel and why he did it. Now, what Gene is saying, the club was protecting Diddy when Jonathan Odie did his interview. I think he said the same people that have dropped Diddy in it. Let's get his words. It sounds to me he's saying the club was protecting him, and now the club is sacrificing him. The same club that protected him at the time of the Jonathan Odie interview. Let's go again.
Sean, I thought that they could have spearheaded that whole thing with Diddy them long time ago based on that Jonathan Odie conversation that he had with the authorities. But because Diddy was protected by the same folks that had gotten at him now.
Diddy was protected by the same folks that has gotten at him now. So he's saying that the club has turned on him.
And put all this information out about him.
And we know from what 50 Cent said about the Diageo lawsuit, Diddy filing the racism lawsuit that he won against Diageo, had already paid Diddy $1 billion, making a fool of them. Almost 10% owned by BlackRock. This is the club.
Is that they wasn't allowed to do their job. And
so when he says they, he's talking about the cops. Jonathan Odie's telling the cops this stuff, but they weren't allowed to do their job while Diddy was still protected by the club.
And also keep in mind that this guy that what the police was asking questions about, it seemed like he was trying to reflect or deflect the fact of what all the stuff he did. So the police really didn't want to hear that. But the most amazing part to me is he didn't only say Diddy's name, he dropped a couple of other names. And he said Rick Ross' name. And this ain't allegedly, I'm telling you what the guy said in that interview. He said Rick Ross' name, and he was saying they all are, I don't have nothing against gay people, but he said they all gay and they all do these freak offs. So just keep that in mind. The Rick Ross name and some other names he dropped.
Now they're going to use some of that information to get him, but they could have been got him because they have.
So they're using the same information Jonathan Odie provided to get him now when that information was previously ignored.
Had enough information back then when Jonathan Odie had that conversation with him, but they weren't able to do anything because you can't touch certain people at certain times.
Now, my follow-up question should have been, is Jay-Z one of those people that you presently cannot touch at certain times? Because we're going to get to this news story about Beyonce making all these plans.
Good point.
To go on
Good
tour,
point.
do this and that. Like nothing's happened. Like she knows she's going to be protected by the club no matter what, as we've seen with the complete attempt to destroy the reputation of Buzbee, Jaguar Wright, and to a lesser extent, some of us content creators who support Buzbee and Jaguar Wright. And there's a hit piece out today about Jaguar Wright I'm going to get to in a minute.
I had a meeting with Global Media Corporation, and it was a big dude. He got like 2 movies on Netflix right now. He took me down there. We had a meeting with them. I'm not going to give you his name, but he'll come out and say, yeah, we had that meeting. In that meeting, they said, we can't touch Diddy.
Wow.
That's way before y'all saw me on YouTube.
So Gene's confirming that people were telling him Diddy's protected by the club. He's untouchable.
He said, we can't touch Diddy. But we like that information you said about Russell Simmons. You got more? They said that. So
that's crazy, man. That is so crazy.
That's your $20 answer, Sean. Salute to
That's
Sean. He
crazy.
got one of those big YouTube shows doing his thing out there.
It's real.
And salute to Gene.
This is real.
I'm going to put Gene's channel link in the live chat. He's
I didn't even know
almost
Gene
got
had a channel.
200,000 followers quite fast, which is not easy to do. So if you want to
Yeah.
subscribe, Gene on YouTube, his link. Credit to him for that video I just played. If you want to subscribe, send him some love. Say you came over from here. All right.
We gotta find this channel, y'all. We gotta find this channel.
On Jaguar Wright, then, shall we?
Gene
So,
Deal. I'm gonna send my people out to find Gene Deal's channel.
See. 57.
So when Gene go live, we need to
let's hold off
put
on
our
that,
$20 question up there.
the people attacking Jaguar, it just seems to be multiplying on YouTube right now. It's like there's a whole industry coming about. A cottage industry has been created. And I really don't want to give any of these people the time of day.
Amen.
Because I think that's why they're doing it, is just to get the attention.
Amen.
So, let's go over to
You hear that,
Beyonce
to here?
and her plans.
Yes.
Because she's acting like the club is going to rally around her and Jay-Z, and we've already seen that. Yes, people are asking, are these people getting paid to attack? So, do you remember when we had Samson on, who the private investigators showed up at his house and he played the video? Well, Samson told us that these private investigators, you know, they were offering money to find out information as to which side you were reporting on. And if anyone was paying you money, they were willing to offer more money. Now, we know that because Samson told us that. But how many influencers have been visited by private investigators that we don't know about?
And they accept it.
Who have taken that money to go after Jaguar Wright.
Wow, that's something to think about.
I think
y'all,
there is a combination of people in the campaign against Jaguar. You've got clickbaiters, you've got trolls, you've got people paid to attempt to destroy your reputation. And they all come at you at once under the umbrella of a campaign, and other toxic people and toxic entities jump on. And that's when you feel the full force of these evil energies coming at you. Because I went through it when I was reporting on Epstein. And it gets very intense.
yes.
So I understand what Jag's going through.
Yes.
We've sent her a lot of supporting energy.
Yes.
It was great to see her on the Christmas special last night that Ron organized.
Yes.
And, you know, these things can go offline and people, it can affect people, let's say, in very bad ways. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to say anything too heavy. Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas, Sean. Lights, congratulations to Ron, but it's up to Ron to make an announcement. What did you think about Jonathan Odie's behavior? Could it be the things he had to do at those parties? Yeah, you know, Jonathan Odie, if you saw the police interrogation, he's acting like someone who knows a lot, but also his brain is simultaneously scrambled by the substances and the activities he's been engaged in. Possibly, you know, doing this stuff that he's allegedly that he did for Diddy when he was a slave in the parties.
An S slave,
So
y'all. That's what he said.
sometimes these people are written off because, the authorities could say they're addicts. Predators often target people from care homes, people who've been through trauma, people who've got addiction issues, because then the courts can just write these people off. They won't take their testimonies because they'll say, look, they've got criminal history, they've got addiction history. We can't take these people seriously. And that's why the monsters prey on these people, because they know they could take advantage of these people. And it's very hard for these people to get their voices heard. That's why Savile preyed on care homes. If you've not seen the work we've done on Savile, we've done a documentary called Untouchable. It's free to watch on YouTube. And there's also my book, Untouchable, Jimmy Savile, which we've covered a lot of that on. Yeah, so Jag singing was amazing last night, and we were really honored to have her on. Am I able to bring Precious Moore along? No, but if Shane the Guest Bucket is watching, we will try and get Precious on. There's a couple of other people we're working on right now pertaining to Diddy and Jay-Z. And we should have some news soon. Yeah, Oddie's interview was about 10 years ago and confirms a lot going on today. It definitely does. All right, so let me go over to Beyonce's plans, because she ain't got a care in the world on the surface. We know that's not true behind the scenes. Now, this is why they're trying to completely destroy Buzbee's reputation. They're trying to put the finger in the dam. I think it was Charlie Robinson who came on a few nights ago, said the dam will hold until after the Super Bowl in February, and then the dam will open for Jay-Z. More allegations, more suits.
Imagine that, y'all. Imagine that Jay-Z, what he's saying is, it's too much money involved with the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the most money being transferred because of everybody. Back in the day, it used to be $1 million to run an ad on the Super Bowl. The commercials on the Super Bowl was $1 million commercials. They way more than that now. They more like $10 million commercials. So it's a lot of money exchanging for the Super Bowl. We know that. And also the halftime show, Jay-Z has a lot to do with that. Everybody heard that by now. But because Jay-Z is so involved in this, he gets, like, for lack of a better word, a pardon until after the Super Bowl is over with and he took care of his business. How would that make you feel if somebody has committed a crime towards you and you got to wait till all his business is taken care of first in order to start getting satisfaction for justice? In order to get justice for the crime that's been, you have to wait. You have to wait to get justice for the crime. Does that sound fair in the United States? That's what I'm thinking right now. That's crazy.
So it's confirmed today that Beyonce's performing the NFL Christmas Day halftime show live on Netflix, but streamers won't have the luxury of rewatching the show in perpetuity. Netflix will be airing both of the NFL's Christmas Day 2024 games after obtaining the global rights to the seasonal matchup, beginning with the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 p.m. ET.
Go on,
the
Netflix.
Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans at 4:30 p.m. ET.
The reason why I'm saying that, go on Netflix, because I seen a documentary and stuff about Netflix when they was trying to sit down and do a business meeting with blockbusters. You know, I know this is off the radar. And they was embarrassed and left with their tails between their legs, so to speak, because blockbusters laughed at them and everything. Now look where blockbusters at today that don't exist anymore. And they was a little company. Now they are one of the monsters out here. Well, when I say monster, I'm one of the mega mega companies, not monster.
On the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 p.m. ET. And then the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans at 4:30 p.m. ET. Beyonce will be performing during the Baltimore Ravens Houston Texans halftime, set to take place in her hometown of Houston at the NRG Stadium. However, viewers only have a limited amount of time to rewatch the experience. Vanity reports that both the NFL shows will only be available for viewing in the US on Netflix 3 hours after the games end as part of the streamer's agreement with the football organization, including Beyonce's halftime performance, which, along with the games, will only be available for streaming until approximately 11 p.m. ET. Streamers outside the US will have more time to replay. All right. Beyonce. The show is set to mark the first time Beyonce will perform songs from her latest album, Cowboy Carter Live. Carter. She has performed at 2 Super Bowls in her career and is set to have several special guests. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. From her Cowboy Carter album join her on the stage. This comes in the wake of the lawsuit, wording the 13-year-old, etc. A source close to Beyonce told The Sun that she is slated to announce her next run of shows in a matter of weeks. And they say it will kick off in Los Angeles in March. All right, yeah, so we got the NFL bit. She's going to kick off a world tour in March as well. So, put a 1 in the chat if you think Beyonce's going to pull all this off in March. Put a 2 in the chat if you think the dam is going to be broken by then. And Beyonce's going to be in a whole lot of hot water with Jay-Z. And sponsors and gigs are going to start to get cancelled. Let's see what all y'all are saying. 2s. Nearly all 2s. 95%. Maybe she will
how
just
crooked this world is.
$10 million speech to support Kamala.
I think $1 million.
Yeah,
I think it's going to go through.
Source told The Sun that she's going to announce the run of shows in a matter of weeks, and it's going to start in LA in March. Insider said It's been a very tough few months for Beyonce. She's laser focused on making her upcoming tour a success. The next few weeks are crucial. Oh yeah, they're crucial for her and Jay-Z. We're going to see what develops. She will announce a new album and a new tour. The announcement was supposed to happen a couple of weeks ago, but it was pushed back. I wonder why. It was pushed back while the club had the emergency crisis meetings and got the lawyers and the PR psychos together to come up with a cunning plan to put a hole in the dam for now to protect these interests. They added, despite Jay-Z being resolute in his denials and that the allegations are totally false, people are aware that mud can stick. You better believe it. Online chatters claimed Beyonce and Jay-Z have now lost their power couple status. But Beyonce is ready to remind the world why she's one of the best. Teasing her forthcoming album and world tour, The Insider said the project is slated to be unique and her most extravagant set of concerts to date. Yeah, she's like motivated now to go up, above, and beyond. No complacency because of the threat they are under from everything melting down. The tour is going to be nothing short of spectacular, as is the album. She'll be making a stop at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. She previously performed at the stadium as a part of her 2023 Renaissance tour. And fans are speculating that the single lady songstress will drop major hints about her upcoming tour and album during the NFL's Christmas Day halftime show, which is imminent. So, talking about Jay-Z, the allegation, Jay-Z protesting his innocence. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions. Blah, blah, blah. We've been over all that. So Beyonce last hit the stage in October 2023 to wrap up her highly successful Renaissance World Tour in Missouri. It kicked off in May 2023 in Stockholm, Sweden, and featured 56 stops across North America, Europe, and other spots across the globe. Wow. Can you imagine how much money is at stake if you have to cancel one of those tours because you are embroiled in a scandal? The preparation, the planning, the ticket sales, the refunds. Oh my goodness.
All right, that's crazy.
Let me just see how everyone's doing in the chat before I go up to the next story. Christmas Eve, after all. Let's see how everybody's doing, if there's any more questions come in. Yeah, so looking forward to Ron coming on, letting you guys all know about, did I see Jonathan Hay, Rihanna former publicist? He was talking about how he'd been trolled, doxed, and shouting out to Jag with respect. It was interesting. No, I haven't seen that. Does sound fascinating, but anyone who is authentic can see that Jags, all these people are going after Jag because she's over the target. Deborah, have you seen Anne Green's videos? I have not seen Anne Green's videos. Is that something I need to check out? Let's see. ADL. I really enjoyed that whole video last night. It was great. So much love and info. Have you an interview with Ronnie both separately that I missed? Yes, ADL. So below this video, if you're watching it on YouTube, is a description box. And it says, watch more P. Diddy, Jay-Z videos here. If you click on that link, it's our Diddy playlist. All of the videos will come up. And I think the most viewed is at the top, and then it goes down. So like the first one we did with Jag, I think it's getting up to almost 500,000 views right now. That mammoth one with Lionel. And then we've got the Jag Courtney, we've got the Jag Ronnie Bo. They're all in there, folks. Misha, Adrian English. If you missed out on those mega multi-hour ones that Shane organized, check them out. We've got Rymea, Jay-Z's son, Ronnie Bo. Some really fascinating people. We have got Bev coming back on Saturday with me and Jen again. We've got Tommy Scoville coming on Tuesday. Can Shane, the guest booker, look into Jonathan Hay? I think Jane's in the chat, right? Shane's in the chat right now. Hope he's logging all this. Come on, Shane, get your magic working again. We're relying on you to reproduce your creative genius. But you managed, when we were on that roll, it was like, it was like every 2 or 3 nights, you just had a blockbuster for us, Shane. Yeah, Michael Hollywood is going down. We're doing lots on that, lots of coverage of that right now. Just scrolling over the chat, and then I'm going to go up to the next headline. I'm just going to see if there's any more questions. Sean, Snoop, and Dre are in the same boat. I'm prophesizing. Thank you. Yeah, Beyonce will get a pass from diehard fans unless she's Celebrity B. Beyonce is not an actress, but she is a damn phenomenal performer. She'll never cancel her shows. Well, that is the way she's viewing it, I'm sure. Oh, thank you for the audiobook.
That's interesting.
I have given nearly all the audiobooks away, but I am going to do a final giveaway at the end of this live stream. Do you think Beyonce will have Blue Ivy on with her again? It wasn't a good look last time, was it? So, you know, if she does,
Blue
it will be a
Ivy is
different
12
look.
years
She's probably had some
old.
feedback on the previous look. Bring in on Jay-Z's son with a genetic genealogist using his DNA test. Yeah, you know, we've forwarded all of your suggestions to Rymir, and people who've offered to help Rymir, we've forwarded them all to Rymir. He's got a plan. He's got a legal plan. And Green sounds very interesting. Oh, if you guys are familiar with OG Shadow, who has been reporting on my channel for years about the cartel, he went into the prison system and disappeared, and we all thought he'd been unalived. I just got an email from him. He's out, and he's coming home. Put a one in the chat if you want us to get OG Shadow on live to explain what the hell happened. I'm going to try and get that done in the next few days.
This is already recorded, so I can't
I think I've got
put a one in the chat.
Looks like there's lots of ones, though, yeah.
Yeah,
God bless OG
one for
Shadow
us.
for getting through a Mexican prison. OG Shadow comes on with a disguise wrapped around his face because he reports on the cartels from Mexico, and he's putting his life on the line. He's one of the bravest YouTubers I know, and he almost got unalived in Mexico, and we're going to get the full story. All right, so Jay-Z, he has a jaw-dropping plan revealed as he battles the R-word allegation. And as we've seen, this plan includes showing no loyalty to longtime friend Diddy, who he has distanced himself from. They only kick it at events, sports events, awards, according to Jay-Z rewriting history. Sources are saying that
Wow.
Jay-Z is ready to throw Diddy under the bus, if that's what it's going to take to clear his name.
It's Christmas Day, y'all, so
we saw him swiftly condemn and
it's Christmas Day, so I have to answer people. Merry Christmas, families and friends. So Merry Christmas to you all while I sit here and work on Christmas Day. What a job, right?
vehemently denied the allegations, and Spiro insisted to the media that the pair do not share.
Every time Sean drinks water, I drink water.
Friends.
I gotta drink this water.
Told the Mail that Jay-Z is going to do all he can to ensure that Jay-Z never steps a foot in jail. Quote, Jay-Z was absolutely throw Diddy under the bus if that's what it took to clear his name and walk away from this. He has zero loyalty to Diddy. The insider noted that Jay-Z began to distance himself from Diddy as soon as Diddy was arrested. The moment Diddy was arrested, Jay-Z scrubbed him from his existence. He's going after Buzbee for himself and not for anyone else. The only thing that he cares about is him never stepping foot inside a jail cell and his family being safe. Jay-Z is extremely powerful and will deploy any tactic necessary.
I mean, think about it, man. You got to think it from a human's point of view. Your boy is in jail, and y'all both dirty anyway. Somebody got to stay out of jail to keep the dirt alive, allegedly, right? If the shoe was on the other foot, think about it, man. Ain't nobody sticking up. One person, for lack of a better word, you had to be a fool. Only one fool jumped out there and tried to stick up for Diddy when it first happened. And you don't hear about him anymore. He done changed his tune also. So it's almost like, hey, once you go to jail, you on your own, boy. Everybody knows that. That's part of the written rule.
Yeah, we're seeing that right now.
So we definitely seeing that right now.
Poll question. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Jay-Z is gonna walk. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Jay-Z is gonna fall in 2025. 1 if you think he's gonna weave his way through this and not
tell you
get in
what
any
I
trouble.
think.
2 if you think he's going to fall in 2025. Looks about 80% twos.
I think it's going to be a 2 for us on that one.
And we've saw
I explain why.
Tit for tat. So this insider saying that Jay-Z is purely destroying Buzbee for his own personal gain. It's not to benefit Diddy, even though Diddy is benefiting as a byproduct. The source explained further that Jay-Z has personally decided to cut ties after the Cassie video was leaked, and that Jay was appalled by it. Video was a deciding factor. However, a third insider noted that no matter what the motivation might be, Diddy is delighted to have Jay-Z involved in his fight against the allegations. No surprises there. You got someone with way more resources than you, way more connections, way more connected to the club, and now you've got that common enemy of Buzbee. Diddy is enjoying the fact that Jay is fighting against the same person that is accusing him of doing any wrongdoing, because if Jay succeeds, it will help Diddy tenfold. Diddy has a never-ending mountain to climb, but any small win can only lead to bigger wins. Diddy is very happy that he isn't fighting everything alone. Yeah, of course he is. And we saw in the last week the campaign to destroy Buzbee. They had his drunk driving mugshot plastered everywhere. They were talking about him transmitting STIs. This case where he was charged with driving while intoxicated, released after posting $500 bail. The Buzbee case was dismissed by the Harris County District Attorney's Office after Buzbee completed a 1-year education program in just 8 months. Meanwhile, Buzbee, who has handled previous civil suits against other public figures, has become embroiled in this public legal feud. And we're seeing his skeletons come out of the woodwork at the behest of Jay-Z. Carter plus his lawyer Spiro have accused the other of using underhand coercive tactics. Spiro is claiming Buzbee's firm might be pressuring potential clients to make false accusations, which Buzbee's denying. And we saw the public response to that. And we saw Jag get embroiled in this mix a little bit as well. All right, so let's move on from that one. We've already hammered the NBC interview. We've looked at Beyonce. Let me catch up with the chat, see where everyone is at, see if any more questions are coming before I go on to the next news story. Right, 11 o'clock, let's go. All right, so how can she go on? How can Beyonce go on stage with all this going on? She's just got to go into focus mode, into the zone. I imagine if you step on the stage in front of that many people, you just purely go into the zone. Are we talking Beyonce or Sasha Fierce? We'll have to pick that one up with Beverly. Beverly's back with me and Jen on Saturday at 8 p.m. UK. Who would pay to see that witch now? Delusional. International shows will be cancelled due to health issues. People massively waking up to the BS. She always does. This is going to be her best performance. Jay needs to keep her name out of his mouth. Let's see. I gave up listening to Taylor Swift too.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, thank you for the good regards for baby Ziggy and Jen. Dad's accent living close in Warrington. Yes, we used to go to Warrington, me and Wildman and Hammy on the weekend. So tomorrow, if we've got enough time, and it has been scheduled, because we've got to go and visit some family members. Depends how, if baby Ziggy behaves himself tonight and we get some good sleep. At 10:30 a.m. UK, we're going to do Christmas Day with the Atwoods. We're going to live stream baby Ziggy. It's his second Christmas. And he's going to be opening presents and running around the living room and stuff with my mum and dad. So we will see what kind of a mood. We're all in tomorrow because Ziggy kept us up till 4 a.m. last night. He's been going to the kids' school thing, daycare, and he's picked up all of the little colds and the viruses, and he's sniveling and snoring. And anyway, it's all going to benefit his immune system being exposed to all that, I am sure. So yeah, I think we've got through all the chat. So if you guys want to see Ziggy running around tomorrow all excited under the Christmas tree with all the gifts, let's have a look. You may have shared previously, but is Ziggy been named after David Bowie? I am a fan of Ziggy Stardust. Actually, me and Jen, we had a whiteboard of baby names, and quite a few of them began with a Z. I think we had Zach on there. Anyway, I went to the gym one day, and a guy came up to me and started talking to me, and he knew me from YouTube, and he asked him his name, and he said his name was Ziggy. And I went home and I told Jen, I said, I just met a guy called Ziggy. Let's put that on the whiteboard. And we did. That's how it came about. And his middle name is Wilder in honor of Wild Man, my former best friend. He's in the photo up there behind me. You see him, the spirit of Wild Man over my head right now. Yep, kids are walking Petri dishes. I can feel it kicking in on myself tonight. Finally getting a bit snivelly. All right. So next story then is that Jay-Z is now accusing... Jay-Z is suing his accuser's lawyer for defamation. So... Carter is claiming that Buzbee's demand letter only gave a 2-week window to commit to a confidential mediation. Buzbee's letter to Carter allegedly reads, "It's been my experience that when someone does this to a victim once, the likelihood is that they have done the same or similar things to others." Jay-Z's lawyer alleged that Buzbee's clients were seeking something of substance by way of a settlement, and if Jay-Z couldn't reach an agreement, Buzbee would take a different course, i.e. they placed a gun to Mr. Carter's head. The new defamation claim from Carter follows Buzbee filing a lawsuit against Rock Nation early this week, where he accused the company and its lawyers of using shadowy operatives. Indeed, and promising to pay Buzbee's former clients to illegally entice them into filing frivolous claims against him. Wow. All right, let's move on from that one. So 50 Cent, this is a story that's come out today, reveals how Jay-Z tried to leave him out of the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. Every time you see 50 Cent talking about Diddy and Jay-Z, he's just got this Cheshire Cat look about him. On the Flagrant podcast, he shared his unfiltered thoughts. I did watch that one. It's quite fascinating. And let's see. Jay-Z, as part of his entertainment company, Rock Nation, co-produces the Super Bowl halftime show of the NFL. The partnership includes selecting music for the NFL use and choosing performers for promotional spots. And he didn't want to give 50 Cent a leg up. He's going to give Beyonce a leg up in that, isn't he, of course? We've got Diddy suffers fresh blow as Jay-Z takes key step amid lawsuit. Let's see what this one's saying. The sources are claiming that Diddy is making strategies in order to save himself from going to prison. All right, we've already covered most of that. Let's see. We covered that one. All right, so there's only one more story, really, that I wanted to go over. So we've got this Luigi Mangione, if that's how we pronounce it, who's up in the mix now.
Okay.
In the same house as Diddy. Maybe the same house as Jay-Z at some point. And the headline here is Christmas in a Cell. Inside Luigi's life behind bars. And why he may become a zombie in hellhole jail he shares with Diddy. Charged of executing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is facing 2 separate indictments related to the cold-hearted, calculated shooting in Midtown Manhattan. Now, people in the chat, this story about Luigi doing this cold-hearted killing, put 1 in the chat if you think the mainstream media's version of this is accurate, or put a 2 in the chat if you think there's a lot more to this story about Luigi and we need to do a deep dive on this character.
Yes, do it.
I'm looking at a picture of him here, grinning from ear to ear in the back of a police vehicle, looking like he's MK Ultra'd out. And hopefully we've got an MK Ultra Survivor coming on soon as well. So, hell on earth. Luigi now finds himself jailed in the notorious federal lockup, the MDC. Place he never expected to be in himself, a prison expert said. Luigi, he's like, right now his mind is a little effed up. He never thought he'd be in the feds. This is Larry Levine, founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants. Well, I know this. He's going through the shock of the newly incarcerated. He's acclimating himself to his new surroundings. His lawyers are thanking God he's in New York and they just don't have to travel to Pennsylvania to visit him. So he's adjusting to where he's at. He'll be there for a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. Then maybe in a month, they'll move him to where Diddy is. Can you imagine? Wow. But Diddy can handle his beep. Wow. I just know Luigi is effing scared. And now they're probably trying to force feed him. That's not strictly true because it doesn't matter how big and bad you are. When you enter a new jail facility, you can pretend to be big and bad, but inside you're effing scared. And Diddy ain't cut out for this either, we've been told by people who know him. So they're going to offer Luigi psych meds. He's going to be like an effing zombie. That's a given. This
Diddy
is from
just
an
got
expert who served 10 years in the feds. Well, we've got Tommy coming on Thursday, 9 p.m. UK. Maybe ask him some questions
stardom.
about this.
Diddy just got stardom on his side, man. You know, think about it. If you was in jail and I don't know, you're in jail for the rest of your life or whatever, and a big famous person come in, you would try to get something out of them first. Try to protect them. Yo, man, I protect you. I want to get something out of you. That's what I think. I think that the first thing would be to say, yo, I can offer you this. Well, what can you offer me, Playboy? I'm trying to protect you. And you go to the biggest person and offer them, you know what? Damn near everything, you know. Offer people things.
Luigi was born to a prominent, well-established Italian-American family in Baltimore, Maryland. Nicholas Mangione Sr., the family patriarch, and the young Luigi's grandfather left his 10 kids and 37 grandkids an extensive multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio, including country clubs, nursing homes, and a radio station. Wow. So we know Luigi's going to have some dream team lawyers. Luigi came from a privileged upbringing, attending the prestigious high school, Gilman School in Baltimore. Tuition is $37,690 per year. He was on the wrestling and soccer teams and was valedictorian of his graduating class of 2016. After high school, he continued academic success, attending the University of Pennsylvania for undergraduate and graduate studies. After college, he landed several internships with tech companies and found a job as a software engineer at TrueCar, an online marketplace based in Santa Monica, California. This allowed him to work remotely, and he eventually found himself living in a shared space in a high-rise apartment in Honolulu, Hawaii, paying $2,000 a month. During a trip to Thailand in April, he boasted to another traveler that he was making lawyer money as a coder for TrueCar and claimed to have $6 million in his bank thanks to his wealthy family. Grief. I wonder if he's going to be able to use all this money to manipulate the legal system. His elite lifestyle was upended when he was arrested on December 9th at McDonald's, where he allegedly assassinated the chief exec of United Healthcare. You're talking old million, old money, Levine told the Sun. Now he can have cheese crackers and maybe a plastic bottle of soda, honey buns, knockoffs. They don't sell the real stuff in the feds. It is called Mrs. Freshly. I never heard of it until I went in. I saw it once at a 99-cent store. He'll be eating like off-brand knockoff convenient snacks and crap when he finally gets to get that. So, different life, different world. You know, it's not like he's in the state where you can buy your own TV set. He's going to have to deal with inmates, and he's not going to be making the decisions. So, yeah, that's a mind F. Shane, if you're watching, let's try and get this Levine guy on. Levine compared Luigi's living conditions in the MDC to living in your bathroom. It totally is. You're living next to a toilet, combination toilet sink, bolted to the wall. And you're sleeping there, and you got to get used to the guy's ablutions and gaseous emissions because you're locked down so much. So Levine says, if he's living in a cell like Diddy was for a while, you know how big those cells are. Picture living in your bathroom with no TV, no computer. That's what cell life will be like. Here's your Bible. He'll be reading the Bible. He'll be getting discovery. What real discovery is there? He didn't commit a sophisticated crime. So they'll give him discovery. We found this, and we found this were his movements for the next whatever period of time. He already admitted what he did. So you know what kind of big investigation do you need on that? Well, they might get a lawyer in and claim he was crazy or something. On Monday, he pleaded not guilty to 11 state criminal counts, including first-degree murder that brands him as a terrorist. Grinning in court, his attorney raised issues with the New York City Police Department's staged perp walk of his client. He's a young man. He's being treated like a human ping pong ball by two warring jurisdictions here. They're treating him like a human spectacle. Of course they are. He's a prize. Prosecutors can get headline news out of this guy and get promotions. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 questions Mayor Eric Adams' presence at December 19th perp walk, where dozens of heavily armed cops and FBI officials waited for Luigi to arrive at a heliport near Wall Street. What was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference that is utterly political? The New York City mayor should know more than anyone the presumption of innocence. Despite her concerns, Judge Gregory Caro assured 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 that Luigi would receive a fair trial, saying, "We will carefully select a jury." His next court date is in the state on Feb 21, but he's going to be in the feds on January the 18th. Wow. Fascinating case. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat before I bed down with Jen and baby Ziggy and wake up for Christmas Day. And if you missed the Christmas special we did last night, that was a credit to Ron's creative genius, getting everybody on at the same time. It was just you could feel the love like you've never felt the love on this channel before. It was amazing, and I feel blessed.
Yes.
That we've got a community here like that, in sync with all you viewers, all the love that comes in for people, when they're going through things, and the support you guys give everyone. It's just phenomenal. And that's what we need more of in the world, don't we?
Yeah.
When people, let's see, maybe feeling about listen up. Yeah, we're going to get OG Shadow on soon. I sent him an email before I come on. Let me just see if he's responded on my emails. No, I don't see him responding on my emails yet. But I will keep you posted. We're going to try and get him on as soon as possible. Find out what he went through with the Mexican cartel and ended up in Mexican prison. The real shooter is long gone. Luigi is an actor. After they find him guilty, he will be set for someplace. Yes, loads of twos came in saying we need to go down this rabbit hole of what Luigi's done. So I'll tell you what we got coming up. We've got a few streams scheduled. I'll try and maintain the headlines. All right, so tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. UK, Christmas with the Atwoods, Ziggy's second Christmas. Ron on the day after Christmas, which we call Boxing Day in the UK. I know it's not called that in America. Ron's doing his Tube of Terror charity event. And then we've got Tommy Scoville coming on at 9 p.m. in the evening. Then on Saturday, we have got Bev back. Sunday, we've got John Wedger. And then on December the 30th, we've got Dr. Michael Sala with Beverly coming on, finally, to talk about the Anunnaki, aliens, AI, and Elon Musk. My nose already running from this. That's going around. And I'll keep up the news updates. And Shane, come on, get your ass in gear, man. Let's get some blockbuster stories going. We've got our MKUltra Survivor, should be soon. And Shane said he's juggling a few people right now. I think Rymea, Jay-Z's son, possibly coming back for a part 2. Ron was on fire, definitely. Must have been hammering those Capri Suns. Christmas dinner is terrible in prison. Put 1 in the chat if you want me to read you my diary entry of what Christmas dinner was like. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. Let me see if I can pull this up. So my journey through jail and prison, most of it was documented and time-stamped in a blog called John's Jail Journal. I found a Christmas entry here that I did with a guy called 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦. I'll put it in the chat too. John's Jail Journal. Yeah, so I was arrested in 2022 for my disco biscuit importation. Link. And we started the blog in Sheriff Joe Arpaio's jail in 2004. And the blog continued throughout my incarceration until my release in December of 2007. So by the end of 2007, I had made friends with a guy called 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 who looked out for me. Now, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, I've written a book about him, and some people have received it in the audiobook giveaways that we've been doing. So, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 is an old-school mafia banana crime family associate who was serving over 140 years. He left the dead bodies of rival gangsters from Arizona to Alaska, and he took me under his wing. We had a game of chess. I beat him, and he liked me. He said I was honest, and I wrote his life story. The mafia philosopher 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦. So this is from my blog, documented in prison, written February the 19th, 2007. So there's a lot of swearing in this. We have to be careful. How the F was your Christmas? 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 asked. Not bad, I said. I got an unexpected visit, which gave me a boost. How was your Christmas? Good, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 said, because I ain't got no beefs. Let me ask you something. You ever heard of Chad or Somalia or Sudan? Yep. I think some of these countries were involved in wars or invasions around then. I said, yeah. Well, how nice an effing Christmas do you think those poor MFers had? Do you know how many pieces of apple pie I got? No. 3. And 2 issues of roast beef. It might have looked like shoe leather and tasted like shoe leather. But that's okay, because guess what? Now, before I tell you how he responds, one of his favorite books.
Every time we take a drink, I take a drink.
A Day in the Life of Ivan the Nosovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. If any of you guys have read A Day in the Life of Ivan the Nosovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, put a 1 in the chat. If you haven't, put a 2 in the chat. Basically, Ivan is being worked to death in a Russian gulag. If you refuse to work, they drag you to death by horse, throw you off a cliff, or hang you from a tree. This is the Siberian freezing cold. They're losing their ears, noses, toes, fingers to frostbite. And then whenever anybody complained about anything where we were at, looks like the majority's 2s, but some have read it. If anyone ever complained where we were housed in prison, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 would laugh, and he would always quote from Ivan the Nosovich. And here's what he said next. He said, it might have looked like shoe leather and tasted like shoe leather, but that's okay, because guess what? I said what? Ivan the Nosovich would have snorted those MFs up with his left nostril and been as happy as if he were having supper with Mikhail effing Gorbachev. That's my barometer now. How rough Ivan had it. Imagine being happy to lick some carrot gruel off a spoon, or having to ride the cook's leg to come up on some extra gills and tails in your fish eyeball soup. So basically, in the gulag, when prisoners complained about our food, 𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 would laugh at them and saying the Russian gulag, they were fighting over fish eyeballs in the soup to try and stay alive. All right, I'll continue.
Wow, that's
or
crazy.
Sling Blade grabbing your bowl of groat's mush, and you've got to go toe to toe with that effing Neanderthal or starve to effing death. So Sling Blade was a former Vietnam vet, came back. I think he shot his father-in-law, gets a life sentence, but he was seriously mentally ill and he was massive. He was like built like a sumo. And he'd be out on the rec yard and he'd just be giggling at the sky and his arm going like this, like he was playing the banjo. But he looked like he could just grab somebody's neck. Anyway, he obviously had a huge appetite. So in the chow hall, when people on the way out, there was like a hole in the wall. If you've got anything, well, you throw your tray. If there's any food left on your tray, it goes in this hole in the wall. And sometimes people they'd be about to put the tray into this hole in the wall. And Sling Blade's big hand would just grab them and take the tray off them and just walk away with it. And it got to the point where people just laid their trays on the table and Sling Blade would just come out. And he didn't talk to anyone. Anyway, I was curious about it and I started to talk to him. And I remember one night, I would give him a little bit of peanut butter and he would come to my cell every so many nights and ask, grunt for some peanut butter. And I remember once there was all these like homies, sat around on the balcony and stuff, and Sling Blade comes up the stairs. And as he's walking along, he's so big, everyone just gets out of his way. They were terrified of him. But when he came into my cell, he would fill the whole cell. This is how big he was. And all right, so let me continue what Two Tonys said. My point is this. How the F can I complain when there's always somebody worse off? And Two Tonys always like to compare the fine dining he used to have with where he was in prison. He would say, of course, I'd like to be chowing down on a Caesar salad, some escargot, a little bowl of scungilli, and some ravioli stuffed with spinach. We ain't going to let those thoughts get me down. I said, what did you do on Christmas Day? Played a little casino card game with Frankie, watched a little TV, sang some effing Christmas carols to myself, Silent Night, Jingle Bells, and all that shit. How the F can I get depressed in here? This is my retirement home. Not just any MF qualifies to be in here, You don't just hop on a bus and say, driver, take me to the big house. This is an exclusive club. You got to put some serious work in to get here. And what's good about it is they can't ever kick me out because I'm doing live. If things get shitty in here, I just tell myself, get a grip, man. What would Ivan Denisovich be thinking? Would he be raising hell about his waffles being cold in the morning? Would he, F? Like I've said before, that's PMA, bro. That's positive mental attitude.
Wow.
So if you want more Two Tonys, check out the book, The Mafia Philosopher, Two Tonys. It's available worldwide on Amazon. I might have some more promo codes left for the audio book. So send me an email at atwood.sean@hotmail.co.uk. And first come, first served for those Two Tonys audiobook promo codes. And I know the question is, what was Christmas dinner in like prison? So that was one of my blog entries from when I was having Christmas in prison and Two Tonys was around. Yeah, Ivan Denisovich, what's Ivan going to do? I mean, some of you guys have been following me back from when the blog was first started in Sheriff Joe's jail in 2004. Can you believe it? That was 20 years ago when I first started online. My aunt was smuggling my blogs out of the maximum security Madison Street jail, Phoenix, Arizona. And the YouTube channel started in December 2007. Yes, Tammy, Two Tonys is on the other side now. The spirit of him lives on in me. He did indeed pass in 2010. And he taught me a lot of life lessons. There's good and bad in everybody. And even though he did bad things in the mafia, he was ex-military. And as far as he was concerned, it's kill or be killed in the mafia like it is in the military. It can happen to him. And if you break the rules, you understand that when you enter it. Never harm women or kids. That was the old school mafia code. Yeah. All right. So that was one of my Christmas entries. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to read another one of my Christmas entries from prison. Or if you want me to bugger off and go to bed, put a 2 in the chat. Let's see what's coming in. Yeah, I can see some ones. You want me to put my email address on the screen for the audio books, the last of the Two Tonys one? Let me do that. Atwood.sean@hotmail.co.uk. And right, it's going on the screen now. Oh, thank you, Krista. My dad was absolutely charming. I know. He's a very relaxed, modest person. You know, he does his bits in the movies and the documentaries and stuff, the TV programs. And he meets some interesting people. And all right, so it looks like it's nearly all ones. I'm gonna have to let me search Christmas. If I put Christmas in, if more entries will come up. Bear with me a minute, folks. All right, here we go. Christmas post. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a good one. All right, so this was posted when I was in 2012. Let's see. Yeah, this was a repost of an earlier post. My last Christmas in prison, 2006, because I got released in 2007 from the Department of Corrections just in time for Christmas 2007 to spend that with my parents. So this is me documenting my last Christmas in prison, which was Christmas 2006. Here we go. Stand by for chow, yard 1. You're getting breakfast first. So that came over the loudspeaker system. On a cold, crisp Christmas morning, below a pink and blue sky, I joined the prisoners drifting towards the chow hall. Most looked miserable, as if suffering a winter virus. And Christmas is the most depressing time of the year for prisoners. I mentioned this last night on the Christmas Live, because people are reflecting on, they put their loved ones through a lot of BS, and they can't be with them on that special day. And if they've got kids especially, it hurts even more. So a lot of them are hitting the hooch, the homebrew, and the guards are coming in, raiding the cells for the homebrew. And yeah, it's just a messy day, and there's a queue for the phone and all that stuff. People are competing, and people are rude to each other. All right, let me continue anyway. That's why most look miserable, drifting towards the chow hall, as if suffering a winter virus. A few swap greetings and gang handshakes. Merry Christmas, homie. Happy Hanukkah, you sarcastic MF. Happy Kwanzaa, dog. Feliz Navidad, SA. God, it was like, I just remember all the slang, 24/7 slang. 6 years in total between jail and prison. All right, inside, each of us takes a tray as it emerges from a slot in the wall. So imagine, right, you all get marched into this chow hall. You got like 15 minutes to eat. You're all lined up, and there's a hole in the wall, and your food comes out of a hole in the wall on a tray. So you're not supposed to be able to see the people handing you the food. So they can't hook you up with extra stuff. You can't. Anyway, it's all corrupt anyway. It does get manipulated. All right, inside, each of us takes a tray as it emerges from a slot in the wall. Breakfast is pancakes. Now, bear in mind, this was Arizona Department of Corrections food, not Sheriff Joe Arpaio jail food. My first 26 months in the jail, I lost almost 30 pounds in weight because that food was subhuman. Once you go to the DOC, Department of Corrections, the food is slightly better. And on Christmas, they actually did make a bit of an effort. But like Tony said, roast beef, it tasted like shoe leather. But they do make a bit of an effort. All right. Breakfast was pancakes, scrambled eggs, cinnamon rolls, cereal, and an apple. A guard with a clipboard checks off names and jokes about how hungover he is. The rising sun floods the room with light, illuminating the dust motes dancing over our food. After 15 minutes, the guards order everyone out. The prisoners rise from tables strewn with spilt milk, cornflakes, and apples stabbed to prevent hooch brewing. We retire to our cells while I reflect on being absent from my loved ones. A sad silence spreads across the yard. No basketball, no pull-ups or dips at the workout stations, no squabbling, no MF this and dog that, no announcements. Yeah, the atmosphere, it gets really miserable, which is why it's important to write or take calls or visit your loved ones if they're in prison at Christmas. Give them a boost. So I wrote, at least it's my last Christmas here. I read to take my mind off the mistakes I've made to lose almost 6 years of my life. At Building B, a guard starts a security walk. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas, Paula M. Oh, yeah, Paula M. I gave you a big shout out last night. And thank you again, for everything you've done with the Royal Mess and all the wonderful people you've introduced us to. Appreciate it so much. Shane, Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate that. Let's put these super chats on the screen while I'm reading this. There's Paula M's. Merry Christmas. There's Shane's. 1 million subs soon. Yes. All right, I will continue. So I'm reading to take my mind off the mistakes I made to lose almost 6 years of my life. At Building B, a guard starts a security walk. Put away your hypodermic needles. Don't let me catch anyone drinking hooch. By the time the swing shift arrived, the sun is shining through a sky mottled with clouds like the hide of a cow. In a slow, sarcastic voice, an announcement comes. This is from the officer. We would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and to thank you for providing us with such a wonderful 2006. This is utter sarcasm. The yard animates with obscenities and threats. Oh, thank you, Miss Skinglow, for the super chat. Merry effing Christmas to you too. Thank you very much, MF. Come and say that to our faces, B-word. The guard continues. And you'll all be pleased to know that we fully intend to keep up the time-honored Christmas tradition of shaking your houses down. Yeah, what utter B-words. 2 guards, a female and a Mexican we call the fruit Nazi, who overzealously seizes apples and oranges from inmates leaving the chow hall.
Wow.
You're not supposed to sneak fruit out of the chow hall. They raid cells, scattering property, confiscating food, thwarting hooch operations, and doling out disciplinary tickets. Late afternoon, we emerge for a surprise. The gatekeepers, a young and high-spirited choir, sing carols from the other side of the perimeter fence. Briefly, I'm not a prisoner anymore. I'm someone's son, brother, I'm human again. At dinner time, skimpy portions of roast beef, mashed potatoes, and broccoli provoke outbursts that unsettle the guards. After eating, I join a queue for phones that barely work. Written on the faces of the prisoners are the usual concerns. Will our loved ones be home? Will they accept the expensive call charges? Unable to get through, some prisoners hang up, cursing life. Nearby, a demolition team of pigeons is savagely pecking the cling film off chow trays abandoned by the guards. From a burst of blowing dust that deposits sand in my mouth, a flock of Chihuahuan ravens descends, a vortex of big black birds with a purple and blue iridescence, scattering the pigeons and ravaging the spoils. Oh, thank you for the membership, ADL. I'll never forget the Chihuahuan ravens, because in the sky by the prison, this was in Tucson, they would form a vortex. And what would happen is, as they got to the top of the vortex, then they would come down to the bottom and go climb back up the vortex again. It was one of the most amazing things. I mean, I was out in Arizona for so long, and I wasn't really paying attention to the beauty of the natural world out there until I was incarcerated, and I had all this time on my hands to see such amazing things as the vortex of the Chihuahuan ravens. Oh, thank you, Lamwitty, for the super chat. Thank you for thinking about the prisoners. They are more than the stigma. People like Sean and co. Totally agree, my man. When I got arrested, getting in there myself, I saw, oh, thank you, Marcy. I saw that your average prisoner was a black guy, Mexican guy, getting arrested with weed, 2 to 5 year sentence. The media says it's all, serial killers and R-worders in prison. It's not. The average person was a low-level drug user. All about filling the prisons, private prisons getting $60,000 a year of taxpayers' money per person. These predatory corporations preying on the mentally ill, preying on people who've come back from wars. More than half of my friends in prison were soldiers, come back from wars, PTSD, got on the street drugs, and ended up in prison. Really sad. Prisons should be used to house people who harm other people. The R-worders, the people who harm women, the people who harm kids. But it seems to me like the courts and the judges don't prioritize those people. It's all about the mass incarceration of low-level drug users, the mentally ill, veterans, because they're the lowest hanging fruit they go after to fill the private prisons. And half of these judges are in the mix with the R-worders and these monsters committing these heinous crimes. So, it's just not a priority for them. Anyway, I don't think I've finished. Thanks, Marcy. I've not finished this blog entry yet. Where was I? I'm going off on my soapbox. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Up, drink water.
Yeah, so the Chihuahuan ravens came down. The pigeons, the guards had thrown some chow trays onto the desert floor near the chow hall. The pigeons came. They're pecking the cling film off. And then the ravens are coming from the vortex, and they've just chased the pigeons away. Every now and then, a bird of prey would come down so fast, it would grab a pigeon and blood would just splatter all over the chow wall. And this bird of prey would just snatch this pigeon and just take it away. And I remember once there was a pigeon that was stuck in the razor wire, and a prisoner who ended up facing the death penalty actually for murdering another prisoner allegedly. A guy I used to sit with a big scary guy, all his face tattooed, no hair. He was climbing the fence to get this pigeon released. And the guards, I mean, they've got gun towers there, all the different guns and stuff. And they were pointing guns at him, telling him to get down. And he refused. And he continued and helped this pigeon escape. And he was lucky because they don't mess around out there, the guards. All right. And that's a story of the humanity of prisoners. All right. So a final announcement at 7:55 p.m. This is my final Christmas 2006. Yard 1, wreck is over. Take it in and lock down. And then was the conversation I had with two Tonys. Let's see, two Tonys, positive mental attitude. I'm just seeing if there's any more. If there's any more, getting breakfast first. Yeah, I've done that one. Any more Christmas entries? Yeah, so one of the guys who used to write to me, Shane, after I got released from prison, he wrote to me about Christmas in the Arizona Department of Corrections. Yeah, Christmas this year was an eye-opening. This was Christmas 2010. Eye-opening event for me and other prisoners. The conditions, atmosphere, and overall attitude of the staff were bad, as well as the prisoners and personnel's states of mind. In the past, Christmas was still a special time of the year. Prisoners got visits with their family on Christmas Day, oftentimes a mini family reunion. Too many prisoners, this was their only visit due to financial hardship. Prisoners were permitted to receive 3 25-pound food boxes from their family and friends, which would often last until the next season. The commissary would add a wide variety of seasonal items at a reasonable price. Religious services were held for all those interested. On Christmas Day, the evening chow was a large meal with real meat, potatoes, stuffing, veggies, rolls. We'd leave the chow all stuffed. Even guys like me who are prone to depression during the holidays could find joy. However, Christmas 2009, this is, no holiday visits, no food boxes, a small price-inflated holiday commissary list from which certain orders weren't filled, no religious services, no lunch, small breakfast, slightly enhanced dinner, including roast beef, instant potatoes, canned veggies, a stale roll, a small sliver of pie. I slept through breakfast and dinner. I tried to make the most of the evening. I gave away a few bags of mixed nuts, a couple of boxes of peanut brittle, and a few other commissary items to some less fortunate prisoners. 3 other prisoners and myself all pitched in and made a meal for us to fill in for ADOC's lack of lunch. It was a depressing and gloomy day. While many prisoners simply sulked, slept, and idly felt every minute passed by, waiting for the day to end, some chose another route, a familiar one, a numb one, a route laden with disappointment, heartache, instability, chaos, and confinement, a route that begins with a needle, all to fill the void in time and the hearts and minds of those sitting behind bars on Christmas Day. Wow, captured there by Shane. Yeah, let's see if there's any other Christmas ones I've got here. No, after that, it's my release and Christmas book signings. There's a poem, Christmas prison poetry by a prisoner. All right, let me do this poem for you guys. This is quite neat, actually. Let me just get a bit of water in the mouth.
Well, another drink.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the cells, the convicts were locked down, madder than hell, except for the lifers kicked back on their bunks, with heads filled with visions of all these grumps. When suddenly from the rooftop there arose such a roar that the cops thought it must be a riot for sure. The goon squad came running, ready to hit, and the sergeant yelled out, "Who started this shit?" It came from the roof. Snivel, some low-life snitch. Snotting on myself. This is so funny. Sorry. Must be a breakout. Oh, son of a bitch. They climbed to the rooftop by way of the stairs and found a fat freak in bright red underwear. Ho, 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 said the dude. I'm here on the scene. Good Lord, said the captain. We've captured the queen. We've captured the queen. Sorry. Oh my God. They yelled, hey, you in the sleigh, get your hands on the wall. Then slapped on the cuffs and searched him and all. They bucked him and threw him in the hole with a kick. Well, so much for Christmas. They've busted St. Nick.
So much for Christmas. They busted St. Nick.
Wow. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. If you want those stories in full, like I said, the Two Tonys book, The Mafia Philosopher,
wow,
it's worldwide on Amazon. If you send me an email, if there's any audiobook codes left, I'll put my email on the screen again. I'll get you as many free audiobook codes as I can. And when Two Tonys dies from cancer in 2010, the book's ending, and he's talking about his stoic philosophy in the face of cancer. And he goes so deep into philosophy. It is mind-blowing, the lessons that he imparts from a man facing death. It's incredible. And then if you're interested in my journey through the prison section, the jail stuff is hard time. The prison stuff after I'm sentenced is called Prison Time. It's a trilogy: Party Time, Hard Time, Prison Time. I think we're out of Prison Time codes, but if there's any left, send a request in an email, and I'll get whatever I can out to you guys as well. And they are all available worldwide on Amazon, ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Anyway, I see Jen in the chat. I'm coming up to bed in a minute, love. Hope Ziggy's snoozing okay. And we will be back at 10:30 a.m. opening presents with Ziggy.
All
this
right.
video will customize over to it if you want to set your alarms. We also do have an Atwood family channel where we were posting quite intensively until other things took over our lives. And but even the birth video, don't worry, there's nothing X-rated. It's done very tastefully, but the birth video of Ziggy is down there in the Atwood family channel.
Wow.
If you're going to watch any videos over there, I recommend that one. If you want to see Ziggy come out and get handed to me and hold my little hand with his little, oh my God, every time I watch it, my heart melts and tears come to my eyes. And it's really intense, really intense. Yeah.
Wow.
So much love and respect wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm so blessed to meet such interesting people, speak to such interesting guests, have such a great community here.
Most definitely.
It would not be possible without all of your love and support, all of your questions and all your guest suggestions, and you know, all the positive vibes that come in. And we're gonna have a lot of interesting people coming on in 2025. Aren't we, Shane?
He cut it off right there. Aren't we, Shane? Most definitely, man. Sean Atwood. That is amazing. I never even thought about what, you know, don't nobody want to go to prison, of course. Think about it, y'all. So one of the things I would suggest that you let your kids listen to the experience of somebody. It don't have to be Sean Atwood, but the experiences of somebody that's been in jail. And think about, before you do something wrong, think about your birthday and the parties and celebrations and stuff you like on your birthday every year. That's out of there. Christmas. That's out of there. Thanksgiving. That is out of there. That's family time right there for my Thanksgiving. That's out of there. Imagine him explaining what they do Thanksgiving. New Year. What is New Year's like in Christmas? And no matter what, the food is terrible. everybody says the food ain't all that great. Hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Speaking of food, I'm going upstairs and get my favorite fried chicken. Can't get that in jail. Whenever you want it, whenever you want to. If you're out of jail, you can have your favorite foods. So y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.